Hey partner, what's going on? Two legs. It's the live edition. We thought, since Andy is snowed in, he can't go anywhere, and he's stuck in the house. We thought maybe we'd just spend a few minutes live with y'all. See if anybody joins us. We'll do an unboxing. We'll talk about the month of February, and we'll just shoot the shit, as they say. And so, what's going on, Andy? You get to working those shoulders today?
Yes, I am. Michigan native who now
Yeah.
resides in sunny Arizona. Yeah, I am. Um, we're getting walloped here in New Jersey today.
Yeah.
So, but it's like that weird, like light. It's a lot of snow, but it's that light, fluffy kind. So it
Okay.
it moves quick.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know, Mr. Michigan, you must know.
So it's not that heavy packed snow.
No, no,
Okay.
it's not. It's not that, thank God.
Mhm.
So, but I went out there a few times, 3 times today, and it's like the second time, it's like I didn't even touch it. I went out there an hour ago. I did it again, and then that's it till tomorrow. No moss. White flag has
Right.
been waved. That's it. It's so.
Sounds like someone needs to invest in a snowblower.
Yeah, no, not really possible on my house because it's
Hmm.
the terrain does not work for a
Oh,
snowblower.
gotcha. Okay.
So the old heave ho.
It's the well, that's good exercise.
It is. I got the little thing telling me, you did
Yeah.
this many steps and all this other crap, so
Yeah. Get the heart rate going a little bit, a little sweat.
yeah, yeah, so let me open up the other browser here. Here we go to make sure that we're following on that. How's your day been, bud?
Day's been good. Day off today, so I was debating whether or not to go to a record store, but since you had texted earlier saying, "Hey, let's go live," and then I was like, "Okay." I had a couple things a couple errands I had to do, and then just came home and got ready to go live with you.
Yeah. I got to look into this thing with the live chat. Like, I have to switch it to live for some reason. It doesn't automatically go.
Interesting.
I don't know why that's been happening. Maybe we can ask Joe Mayo about that. Like when you go to it, it says top chat and then live
Right.
chat. But we had to do this last time too. We got 13 people on watching. So
Oh,
if anybody's
great.
watching, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's annoying. So once I set it to live chat, it pops on. Ollie, Macca, and James Boyce. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
yeah, I got something in the mail today. It's McCartney III related.
Oh
So
boy.
thought we just do a little unboxing while we got some people here.
And it came from the country of.
Japan.
So we know what that is. Let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's see if you got the calendar. That's what we got to see. If you got the
Yeah,
calendar.
yeah. It's luckily it's not frozen.
Yep. Good evening, Brendan and J Marty 03261. James from Texas says hi.
How you doing?
A former Long Islander.
Okay.
James Boyce says he'll be Snow Mayo. He probably will be Snow Mayo. There he is. He just popped on. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Joe, we got to ask you about this chat thing. As Tom is unboxing his Japan copy, the chat, I have to enable live chat. I don't know if you've ever had any experience with that, but the comments were blocked initially. So if you have an experience with that, please let me know.
Okay, so yes, did get the
calendar. You got the calendar. Good.
Yeah. And the CD is in there with it.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. McCartney.
There you go, brother.
Right. So now I got all 3 CDs with the different
you got
it. Back covers, nice little, I like the Obi strip.
Obi strip, you like the Obi strip. You like the Obi strip, but you hate hype stickers. I don't get you.
Thank you. I don't get myself either.
Uncle Arthur, hey, two legs. Much love from the UK. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sending much love back. This honorary
I do like that the Japanese put the protective sleeve on their CDs like that when they ship things like this. So that's cool. I do like that.
It's very because it stays nice on these.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting enough, when you look at this stuff, when you open this up, Tom, later, look at it. There's I guess it's tied to an official Japanese Beatles store. Because there's Beatle links to a Beatles web store on
Okay.
here. So I guess it's through that.
Gotcha.
Joe
But
says, "I know it's heavy. It is heavy, right?
Yeah, it's really heavy. Yeah.
Heavier than the other CDs you've gotten so far, right?
Exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh crap!
What did Joe say?
Joe said that he never has to enable the chat; it's automatic. Okay, need
Okay.
to look out about that.
Yeah.
James Boyce. Hi, James. He said he loved the Gabe episode and funny about his mother being thrown out of a Hard Day's Night movie for screaming too much. Yeah. Thank you guys for the lovely comments on that episode with Gabe. That was a fantastic interview that Tom arranged through our friend Dylan CV.
Yeah. So thank you, Dylan CV, for that. Much love for you, my friends. So yeah, it's just a one sheet. It's just like a double-sided thing there. Yeah.
Gonna take it out of the plastic or no?
No, I'll just save it as a keepsake.
All right.
I mean, I've got the big Two Legs Talk More Talk calendar right here, so I don't really need a.
Yeah, I got mine right here, as you can see. Mine. That's I took a page out of the Hunyadi book. Whenever we schedule, I'm like, look. Well, the other day we spoke, and I'm like, look, Tom. I'm like, because Tom is always like on top. Tom's always on the ball with our calendar and when we're doing stuff, and I'm kind of all over the place with what I do. So I'm like, all right, Tom, February's coming. I'm like, we need to talk, and I need you to like write in these dates of like, okay, who are we talking about? What are we talking about? And when is it going up?
Right.
Because Tom is always just on the money with the planning and the coordinating of everything. So, so we line it up and it works out well.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I've tried it in the past to do things like that on the phone. But it's just like it's so out of sight. When it's out of sight, it's out of mind for me. It's so easy.
Meaning if it's on your phone, you don't.
Yeah, meaning I'll even forget what's on my phone.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if I have it like right here, right next to me, the big calendar, it's right there. I'll never miss it.
Yeah, look, exactly. See, here we go. We got our Wednesdays, we got our Saturdays. So whatever Tom said, I just take my Sharpie and I'm like, yeah, okay. Right. What date? Where? Oh, we got to move that. Where will we be talking to? So it's just a little bit of the behind the scenes. All
right. So this is I would say CD number 6 for me.
Damn.
Yeah, and then
because you got all the dice sets, right?
Yeah, I got the 3 dice set. Then I got the white and then the green. So yeah. So there's that. So that's 6 CDs. Now we're waiting on our good buddy Martin Quibble sent us the blue HMV vinyl. So we're waiting on that. We should hopefully get that within another week or so. And then, I know our good friend Joe here, he ordered a couple of the Coke bottle vinyls from the UK McCartney store, and he still hasn't gotten any word on when that's going to ship. So who knows if he will. Maybe they just shipped it. I don't know. Because I had never ordered anything from the UK store myself.
Yeah, and I got that. Mine came from the UK store. My Coke bottle one.
Oh, your Coke bottle one did come from the UK?
Yeah.
So yeah, Spotify.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
And it was the late. Didn't come as early as the other ones, but he eventually got it.
Right.
Catch up on some comments here. Joe says, "Come on, summer." Yeah, I hear you, Joe.
Yes, Joe did a great snow video that he posted earlier today, which was, I don't miss it, guys. Next year or later this year, I'll get that rude awakening and it'll be snow.
Come on back, come on and get snowed in again.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Joe says he's very envious that you got the calendar, Tom.
Joe didn't get the calendar.
I guess not. So come on, Joe, get on it. James Boyce said he thinks if Gabe had said yes to touring with Macca, he doesn't think he would have stayed for 20 years.
Maybe, but here's the thing, though. When Rusty and Brian have both released solo material throughout this last 20 years. So I would have thought, okay, so maybe, Gabe will, if he can work it out to where, he can still be part of the band and then release, so his own material as well, Yeah,
but do Rusty and Brian Ray tour a lot? Because Gabe interview, Gabe likes to perform.
Gabe likes to tour, right.
So I don't think it would have worked long.
Well, you're looking at only 1 to 2 months touring with Paul a year now these days.
But back then it was more.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Back then it was a lot more. So it was a balancing act. Super Bowl. I mean, he undertook the whole first big tour in a while, and he was. I got to think from 2002 to 2005, he was touring a hell of a lot. I mean, 2003, he's all over Europe. in 2004 he's in Europe, 2005 the space. So lots of touring. I don't think Gabe could have done that. What are you laughing at?
Oh, just a text.
That's good. That's good.
This phone never shuts up.
I know that. Yeah. So Jacob Blair, hey guys, I wanted to share my
Hey.
top 3 McCartney songs of all time.
Oh, wow.
One,
Great.
one Riding to Vanity Fair,
Oh, excellent.
two
Excellent.
ballroom dancing, and 3 Maybe I'm Amazed. Very nice choices. Very nice choice.
Can't argue with any of those 3.
And our friend Bill Leary chimed in. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill. All right, so let's talk February. Let's get what we're going. So this first
Rocking and rolling. Yeah.
This first week for our Saturday, because Andy posts all of our regular shows on Saturdays, and what we're going to be doing this Saturday is we're going to be releasing part 2 of ranking the tracks on just the audio formats. As you guys know, we are live every Wednesday to do our ranking the track series.
Usually.
Usually. And this Wednesday we're going to be ranking. Yes, Tug of War. So Andy's got a bunch of Tug of War stuff that he's going to be showing here in a little bit. But like I said, we're going to be posting the RAM ranking the tracks, and that's audio only. We're going to be doing this once a month. We're going to be posting one of the ranking of the tracks, so that way that gives Andy and I maybe just like a week to ourselves or whatever to catch our breaths. Exactly, because we got a busy rest of the month. The second week of February, we're going to be talking about the Kisses on the Bottom. That'll be kind of like a Valentine Day episode where we're going to talk about the album and the live Kisses, Blu-ray or DVD, which one of you got. Yep. Then the third week of February, we're going to have our friend Paul Saley on, who is working on Little Wing, the Jimmy McCullough story. So he's going to be giving us all the insights on that. And then hopefully the fourth week of February, I'm still waiting to hear from our friend Tony Triguardo from Fab Four Free for All, and we're going to be talking about the McGear album later this month. So yeah, it's going to be another packed month.
Shorter month.
A little shorter, but we're still doing the 2 episodes, or we're still doing 2 episodes a week pretty much, because then on Wednesdays we'll be live. Like I said, this week it's Tug of War. And then obviously when we got Pipes of Peace, Broad Street, and then Press to Play this month as well.
Yeah, and I know that when Tom and I just decided to do ranking the tracks, we were kind of hemming and hawing about Broad Street. Tom was like, should we do it? Should we not do it? But I'm glad we're doing it, because it's lots of covers, obviously, stuff. But I mean, if you look at it, just analyzing it as an album, we can rank the tracks on it, and we know where Tom's going to rank that version of Long and Winding Road. So
yeah.
Jacob asks, James Boyce says Tug of War is his favorite Paul solo album. I think that's a sentiment shared by many people.
Yeah.
Top 5 for sure.
I remember, I think it was a Rolling Stone tagged it. It was the album that we all knew McCartney could make.
Yeah.
I think that was the tagline.
Yeah. It's fine. It's been an interesting observation. Whenever he's been pushed to the test, or like things have been like, obviously Band on the Run was a very kind of traumatic album, band members leaving, going to Lagos, getting like robbed, a very traumatic experience. Out of that comes a great album, right? All time. Tug of War, obviously on the heels of Lennon's passing, rises to the occasion. It's just an interesting observation. And Lennon always said that about Paul. He's like, well, he'll make an album when he's scared enough into it.
Right.
So yeah, this is going to be a fun one to rank on Tuesday night. Wednesday night. Jacob asked, would you guys be shocked if Paul would be able to pull up another Band on the Run or Tug of War, especially at his age? Honestly, yes. I would say yes.
Well, I mean, is he asking if we would be shocked if he released something that was quality like a Band on the Run or Tug of War?
That's what he's asking essentially.
Well, I think McCartney III was really was very high quality material on that album. I don't know. Obviously
you're gonna have it. You're gonna put it in the Band on the Run Tug of War conversation.
I don't know. I mean, we got to let this. We got to let it brew a little longer. Maybe.
Fair enough.
Maybe in the next 20 years, it would be considered. One of those
maybe
top 5 records. I don't know. I know everybody has different opinions on it, but I think it was a really strong record from top to bottom.
Yeah, let's. Joe says, "Be What You See" has got to be the last track. Yeah, Joe, I think that we can give a little hint on that one.
Yes.
If "Be What You See" isn't Tom and I's number 12, I mean, then we can find another. Joe, you can go. You can, jump in for
Right.
one of us. Uncle Arthur says Wanderlust, Wanderlust, Wanderlust. Yes, I'm sure Wanderlust will be up
Yes.
there for both of us as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now that's probably one of my top 10 favorite McCartney songs of all time is Wanderlust.
Oh, without question.
Actually, probably 2 songs from Tug of War would make my top
10
list.
all time.
Yeah,
cool.
all time. Yeah.
James Boyce said he's met Paul Saley a couple of times. He's been over to the UK.
Oh,
The first meetup was at Paul's Royal Albert Hall gig in 2012, which was a good first meet. Oh, cool. So he met him in 2012.
Yes. Well, Paul, as we'll learn, has been working on this book. I mean, for decades now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to his appearance on Fans on the Run, our buddies Ethan Alexanian's podcast, you'll get the history. And now, Ethan, you're a competitor now. You're dipping your toes in McCartney's territory, so you better be careful, my friend. stealing guests like that, shame.
Yeah.
Just teasing, Ethan, just teasing. But yeah, it's it should be interesting to hear more about Jimmy and some of the myths out there about Jimmy, and then hopefully they'll get debunked or whatnot.
Yeah, that we're looking forward to that. Let's catch up on Robert S. Hi guys, hello.
Hey.
James Boyce, good comment again. Tug of War hasn't been overplayed in concert like Band on the Run. Very good.
No, there's really not. Now listen, when it comes to like a fatigue factor for Tug of War, you're not going to get it like you do with Band on the Run.
Not at all.
So if you're fatigued on Band on the Run, it's your own fault, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you could, because that this music hasn't really been played live other than here today, and Ebony and Ivory. So
yes.
This was obviously the beginning of a new period for Paul. One that I'm obviously very interested in. And I'm working on a lot of research now for a McCartney 80s book now on this period. So I'm kind of researching and writing it right now, and hopefully it's going to come one of these months or years. But the 80s period of Paul, I think, really deserves to be reassessed. And
it wasn't as busy as the 70s, but it was a very busy time for Paul. I mean, it wasn't probably as prolific as the 70s, but there's a lot of quality stuff there, a lot of work, and a lot of the behind the scenes stuff too from Paul.
Oh yeah.
So
you had and he had the 80s also had him opening up his new studio and everything at Hog Hill. Let's see, James Boyce. Paul Saley was going to make a documentary, but was advised to make it a book instead. Interesting.
Well, we'll learn all about that later this month.
Joe says, Andy, please don't rank Get It as number 1. Come on, Joe. Yeah.
Listen, there's that other. Well, I'll save my comments for Wednesday night. But
yeah. So I have just when we were talking about just promoting the show. I mean, Tom and I are obviously collectors of everything, and I just pulled a couple things from the archives just to share here to promote the show. And this I got a couple of years ago. This is a 12-inch from Japan. Take It Away, but it's on yellow vinyl, which is pretty cool. So it's a Take It Away, I'll Give You a Ring and Dress Me Up on the B side, and
it's translucent,
and it's translucent yellow.
Very cool.
So
it looks more gold on my end.
It does. It looks more gold on our end too.
Yeah.
Joe, please don't rank Dress Me Up as a Robert Hyde. Don't worry, Joe. Damn, I've never seen a guy so concerned with how I rank songs. I gotta get. He could be my agent. Jesus.
I think he disagrees with you quite a bit.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. A couple other things here. Tom held up obviously now in 2015 the album was reissued as part of the archive series, and it's the only album that holds the distinction in the archive series of being remixed.
Yes.
Now I love the remix, but I don't know why that album had to be remixed. When you're gonna all of them could read, but it's a nice listen.
Right.
And you had the regular edition on there too. This version here is a mini LP kind of. There's Tom holding up. Yeah, that's a gem. Do you have the other one?
No, I didn't get the other one. That was like
Yeah.
that was like the $400 one or something like
Yes,
that.
with like that
Yeah,
kind of
no.
like with that red
Right.
shell thing on it. Yeah.
No, yeah, I skipped that.
Yeah. Uh, Tim Brownrigg says he's nervous after having waterfalls ranked so high. This version is from Japan. It's one of those little mini LP ones that they kind of do a good job of reissuing with
Okay.
the artwork on there.
Gotcha.
And then Tom is kind of Tom just keeps the most recent edition and
Right.
discards the rest. He's not we're a little bit different that way. Tom gets the best quality version that's out there,
And I just discard.
and he's happy with it. I like to kind of keep all the editions because if you look at Mattinger and Easter, and I learned to collect basically from those guys in that book because they would reference all the different ones that are out there. This pressing sounds this. This pressing has a few more seconds of music at this track. So by reading that book, that's how I was able to learn and kind of get it. I know, well, maybe I should seek out these original first pressings because they obviously spent the time to listen to all this stuff.
Right.
And I want to hear what they're talking about. So that's kind of why I've wanted to go do that. So like, a couple of years ago, I got the first run of Tug of War on Columbia. You don't see these too often.
No, you don't. I mean, you'll see them at like used record stores and stuff.
No, yeah,
stuff like
it's
that.
just so weird seeing a McCartney CD on a Columbia label. So and then what else here? A couple of during the summer we actually had a guy on. We talked about all the club sandwiches and we featured this.
Mm-hmm.
We had Dale Pants on, and here is the club sandwich edition of the Tug of War issue, which I believe no date on it, just says 82. But again, great stuff in here about the Take It Away video.
Gotcha. Yeah, because they invited members of the fan club to that shoot.
That's right. I believe at the L Street Studios, which is where a lot of Broad Street was shot around that time anyway.
Right.
Speaking of Chip, actually, I got a bunch of stuff from Chip over the summer, and in that was sheet music actually too. Ebony and Ivory.
Good. Oh,
cool. It was actually it was in the 12-inch single that was with it.
I did not know that. Okay, cool.
So, just some assorted Tug of War paraphernalia that I've kind of gathered over the years. Catch up on the comments here. Bill said that he read that it was remixed because it was mixed digitally back in the 80s and needed to have a remix to have high-res audio. Okay. Robert S. McCartney's 80s work. Good until 82, and again 89. Everything else is blah.
Wow.
Okay. James Boyce, he has his 80s and 90s CDs of Paul's post-Beatles stuff. Yes. Yeah, it all depends on what kind of collector you are. If you could be like Tom and say, you know what, Tom has no purpose for keeping older stuff. He has the best quality available, and that's what he goes to. Other people like myself like to look at the history of the releases and keep them.
So I have been changing a little bit with the vinyl. So it's like I will have now start, collecting like a different variant of like say like Band on the Run. So like I'll get the picture disc, and I got the color. And I'll get just the regular, and I've actually got that 25th anniversary.
Yeah, you got that a few months ago. Yeah, at a good price.
So
too.
I mean, things like that, I'll collect multiple copies of, But the CDs, I really don't.
I'm surprised because like they're smaller and they're easier to trade. It's not like vinyl. Vinyl is so big to move, but CDs are compact. You can throw them in boxes. And listen, my friend, you'll learn soon enough when you got to move. So good luck with that.
Believe me.
I know. I know. Listen, you're a nomad too.
Yeah.
Joe says Joe thinks Flower was kind of blah too, save for 4 tracks. Whoa. Huh.
Well, you know what? I thought I think there's some blahness to Flowers in the Dirt.
Some,
but we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And
Uncle Arthur, where would you rank the Tug of War cover? That's an interesting question and possibly an idea for future shows. The artwork of Tug of War. Interesting. I had my professor in Liverpool. He had a great observation one day in class. He thought, I don't know how subconscious this was, but he thought that this like subconsciously was like Paul like shocked and like reacting to like the Lennon thing. I thought that was a little bit far-fetched.
No, I think I just see this as him like drowning himself in his music in a way. Because this is how he's coping with the death of Lennon, by drowning himself in his music, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And again, if you've ever been to London and you walk past Soho Square, and you go by past MPL, this
Yeah.
artwork is hanging
Right.
up in
That's
the
right.
office.
Right.
It's not obviously not the text or anything, but there's a big, and there
Right.
was. I mean, I was there a long
Right.
time ago, but it's there, and you can actually see this artwork hanging.
Mhm.
I didn't have the stones to go in. I
Right.
should have, but I
Because
kind of
if you
just
look at because if you
I
look at the
just looked.
cover, he seems like immersed in
Yeah,
you know.
it's a great. I think it's one of the best
Yeah.
covers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think when it came out in April of '82, right? This originally came out again. I believe April.
Yeah. It's funny because
And
a
we
lot of
interviewed.
that
Yeah.
stuff, a lot of this material had been done already in 80 and in 81.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why they had to keep on recording, and this
And
couldn't, because 81 was the first year since 61 then that McCartney didn't have his name on any releases.
no.
There was, what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, he wrote. I mean, he wrote attention for Ringo on "Stop and Smell the Roses,"
Right,
but
but yeah, I know what you're saying, but his own personal release, I
of course,
mean,
yeah, nothing,
yeah,
nothing at
yeah.
all. Of course, obviously, the album was recorded in Montserrat, a lot of it at
Hmm.
George Martin's studio, and
Yeah,
featuring Dave Maddox, who we actually
right.
interviewed a few months ago, who produced on this
Yes,
record too. So
great conversation with him. Yep.
yeah, and he was a great guy to talk to.
Yep.
Joe Mayo, Waterfalls is like Long Tall Sally compared to Motor of Love.
Yeah, let's just say I won't be having Motor Love very high on my list.
No,
No, not a
okay.
fan. Not a fan of that 6 minutes snooze fest.
Yeah, yeah. So, it'll be interesting as we rank this. It'll be fun. And the '80s, we're into the '80s now. So we got it kicked off with Ethan as a guest host for McCartney II,
Yeah,
and then
and
of course, yeah,
no, he's already done a great job with he sent us the Tug of War thumbnail, did a great job again. So he's just doing a great job with the thumbnails. So
absolutely. And we'll once we get to the end of the '80s, we'll do the '80s non-album tracks like we did with to
yeah,
bookend the
70s.
decade,
Yeah.
to bookend the decade before we move on to the '90s. And by then, hopefully, the snow will be melted.
Good luck.
Yeah.
What else? What else you got there for Tug of War? You got anything else?
No, that's it. That just the kind of oddities that I grabbed there. But James Voice at Mr. Me, Paul has a history of great tracks not making the albums. Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll give you a ring. Could have been on this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ollie Perry, Motor of Love might be the most 80s sounding song he ever did. Yeah. Yeah. I like the demo of it. The demo of it's nice.
I have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah, it's only like a minute long.
Yeah.
Way better. It's just a
10 times.
schmaltzy.
Right.
Actually, I know somebody who actually had that song as their wedding song, believe it or not.
Our friend Del Pants of the Club Sandwich Facebook page, he had posted about the song "Mine for Me" that Paul wrote
for Rod
the Mod, and I was going to ask you about that. What is that? Do you like that song? Because it's a song that I think he released as a single. I think it would charted in the '80s. I think it was like '89 or something like that. Not a very high chart song for Rod, but I always thought that was like a song that would have been better off with Paul. If Paul did it, yeah.
Totally agree. It was okay with Rod. Would have loved to have heard how Paul would have done his take on that. Who knows? A version might exist somewhere.
Well, I'm sure he probably did a demo to give to Rod the Mod there.
Yeah, Ethan. Still looking forward to doing the thumbnail for Press to Play. We're watching you. We're watching you.
Yeah.
Joe says Pretty Little Head is most 80s song. Yeah, and again,
that too. I mean, there's different 80s sounds, that you could, say is an 80s sound. That's definitely that sound or
gated,
production. Exactly.
Hugh Padgham. James Boyce says he was invited to the Take It Away video shoot, but he couldn't make it, which still rankles him a bit. Damn.
Man, James.
That is a regret, James. Oi.
Yeah.
Robert S. McCartney, great. Costello, great. McCartney and Costello together, meh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Uncle Arthur, undecided on the Pound is Sinking. Any thoughts? You'll have to tune out. You'll have to tune in on
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yeah. The thing is for me is the two tracks that didn't make the any of the albums, McCartney or Elvis Costello, that we got on the Flowers in the Dirt box set, 25 Fingers and Tommy's Coming Home.
Yeah,
I thought those were two really strong tracks that I'm really surprised didn't make anybody's album between the two. Yeah.
yeah. Maca Films advises us that Mine for Me peaked at number 91 in
Thank you.
1974 in the U.S.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
just
Yep.
on the outer reaches of the top 100. Yeah, yeah. It's on the Smiler album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I think was his fifth
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 album,
album, maybe some fifth or sixth, yeah.
probably by that
But
point.
but I'll tell you what, I love Rod's first four records.
Oh
Big fan
man,
of those.
oh
Big fan of
fantastic.
those.
Gasoline Alley and
Yeah, yeah, the
now,
Rod Stewart album.
an
Yeah.
old raincoat won't ever let you down, as it's known in the
Yes.
UK.
That's right.
Yeah, no,
That's
yeah,
right.
Early Elton, they're all very similar.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and McCartney Stewart collaboration, if they actually performed together, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So I think Paul and Abbott Costello would have been better. Just kidding, James Boyce.
It could have made us, turned who's on first into a song or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it'd be fun ranking this one, and onward we go.
Mhm. Yeah, but this is definitely one of my favorites of the archive releases. The
Oh
the
man,
bonus disc is superb. You got Stop, You Don't Know Where She Came From, which we know Paul was accused of impregnating a woman at some point. And I think she was saying that the child was his.
mm-hmm.
And
He had to take like a paternity test to prove
right.
that it
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah,
Right, and then you got the pound is sinking is something that didn't happen, which again I think was related to that as well. And then he what she does so brilliantly is to take two
take
songs
two
and, and,
songs and
and puts them
slap them
together.
together.
Yeah, yeah. Then obviously Rain Clouds, which is a B side, and I'll Give You a Ring, which I think is one of his best B sides ever. Yeah,
Ever.
exactly. So really strong bonus disc there on that.
Yeah.
So
Um,
looking at number 12727 on the back there.
I'll have to check mine out when we do it
Yeah.
on Wednesday. It's
Yeah.
it's in the other room. Yeah.
Right.
Recorded in Montserrat and England. And actually the cover coordination was by also Hypnosis, which
Hypnosis. There you go.
for you
Yeah.
70s albums fans, Hypnosis had a lot of work with Floyd and Yes and stuff like that in Genesis. So not surprised they were involved in this artsy looking cover.
Yep.
But tasteful too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's catch up here. Lou Costello or Declan Costello? James Boyce, Shane Paul didn't tour Tug of War. Wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen.
Not that soon after Lennon's
No
death.
way.
I mean, he seemed to in the 70s, all throughout the 70s, you see him pictures and like concerts or, Mardi Gras, you just see him out and about. After Lennon's death, you just don't see him, he's doing like stuff like the Prince's Trust. He's doing, other interviews throughout the 80s, but he's not like out and about, like in the public as he was.
No, he made appearances like, when obviously the Broad Street premiere and
right.
meeting up with Princess Di. And he had like sporadic appearances where he would be out there, but I mean, he wasn't out there like walking around, Mardi Gras dressed up as clowns, and they spotted him anyway. Paul, no, I'm a clown. Hey, Paul. Oliver, hey, says hi, Tom and Andy. Hi, Oliver. How are you?
Glad you're here. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, it's just it would have been nice, to revisit. I mean, even though we talk about all the time songs that you wish he'd play live, right? Silly love songs, big hits, Take It Away. Like imagine play
Take It Away. Come on, even ballroom dancing, I think would work really live, especially with Wicks on keys.
Sure,
he's got the horns now. Touring with them. The last tour he had horns out there with them, so that would be a nice, with that track as well. So
funnily revisited for Broad Street,
Listen, right. If he was gonna do No More Lonely Nights live, it would have been probably the 89 or 93 tour,
Yeah.
when he still had the good vocal chops. Although he didn't really necessarily sound that great in that 89 tour, from my understanding.
I thought he sounded okay.
Mm.
No, you didn't see him. You
Or
saw
was it
90.
the 93? I don't recall, but one of the two, I remember one of the two tours hearing complaints that he didn't sound that great. I thought he sounded great when I saw him in 93.
Yeah, I think he sounds fine on Tripping the
Mm.
Life Fantastic, even if there's a little bit of stuff in there. Are you guys snowed in too, Oliver asked. No, just me. Tom's okay. Yeah.
Snowed in with sun.
Yeah. Steve Lawler. Hi, Tom and Andy. Hello, Steve. Yeah, but that's about it. So just a little quick recap of Tom got his he got finally his Japan copy of McCartney
Japan
3.
copy, McCartney
With
3.
his calendar.
So
And,
it's winding down. It's starting to wind down a little bit. I still got two more vinyls coming. I do want to give our boy Adrian Allen a little bit of a plug.
Yes.
His new book, Wings Live, on tour in the 70s. As you know, we've had Adrian Allen on a couple times. He wrote Paul McCartney after the Beatles, one in Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this is his third book on McCartney right there. So this is out now, so you can get it. And then I just got this in the mail too, which about the Beatles after the breakup, 1970 to 19. I'm really glad you mentioned this book because I had no knowledge of this book. I mean, so talk about this book for a second.
So Keith Badman's After the Breakup, 1970 2000. Again, it's a little outdated now, but it's a real great book that kind of captures all the press and media clippings from that period. Interviews, stuff written in newspapers. It kind of from 1970 to 2000. So it's all it covers all the solo stuff wrapped up in one book in a kind of chronological Lewison type format. January, date by date. So it's a great book. Keith has done a few books of that similar type after that, but that was the first one that he did, and it's I got the book 20 years ago, and it's essential. I look at it as essential as Lewison, really. And a lot of people kind of feel, well, you got to watch Badman. It's not really accurate and stuff, but I don't know. I've never seen it really dismissed anywhere else by any kind of authoritative authors. So it's a great book. Again, it's not a book you're going to read cover to cover.
Right.
If you want to pick up 1974 and read about Apple kind of what were the details when Apple formally dissolved, oh, it was Christmas in Disneyland in December of 74 and kind of all that. And then really kind of goes into the details of all the meetings and stuff like that when they were traveling. So it kind of covers all the media attention, whether it was, seen and, in an airport, journalists, interviews, everything. It's in there. Robert says, nice book. Never heard of it before. Tom got it, I think, for $10. I think you found it online. Yeah, right, Tom?
Yep, found it online for $10. So normally priced when this came out 20 years ago is $35.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But it's still something that I reference.
Well, it's good for our shows for our shows with Anthony Rotuno for like our Lennon McCartney show where we're just talking about their relationship throughout the 70s, and this gives us great insight on what was said inside the press. Between the two.
That's why when we first were going to record with Anthony about that. That's the first book I thought of. I'm like, what else can we look up and kind of get some quick facts about that kind of war that the two were having at the time. And I remember I sent you a couple of pictures. I'm like, here, this page, and you were like, I got to get this. Oh, Fran Nichols popped on. Hello, Fran. Fran always pops on. So I'll send you the links for the other Badman books too. But but he did one during the Beatles period, and he's done two, solo periods, but that first one is the gold standard. But again, it only goes up to 2000. I know you reached out to him. I'd love to see if he would ever consider doing an update.
Well, I friended him on Facebook, so I will definitely in time reach out to him and ask if he wants to come on and talk about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but definitely check that book out if you guys haven't seen it. Joe says later, guys. Bye, Joe. We're checking out. We're checking out soon too.
Yep.
So that's all the news that's fit to print.
Yeah. So if you guys are out there and you're watching, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. We're gonna try to get to we're on our way to 500 subscribers, so we'd really like to try to get there within the next couple months. And thank you for all your comments. We really appreciate it. All the great comments with the Gabe episode was excellent. We had a great time talking with him, and we were getting requests to get him back on, so and talk more about the Driving Rain album. So maybe closer to when his album comes out, his new album comes out later on in the spring. Maybe we'll try to get him back on for that. So, but yeah, we got a good lineup for February. So stay tuned. And Andy, anything else you want to mention?
Well, we'll see y'all Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern for Tug of
Ranking the
War.
Tracks, Tug of War. Really looking forward to ranking this
and
this
seeing
album.
what you guys say.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check us out for that.
Thank you, Bill. Bill says thanks for everything you guys do. Thank you for being a subscriber.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Steve Laura, good luck with the 500 subscribers and many more than I hope. Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
trying. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we got to crawl before you can walk. So we'll get there.
We'll get there. So we'll see you all Wednesday night.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.